Hello, and welcome everybody to the 33rd episode, I can't believe it, of the Synthwave Hangout. I am Memory Design.
And I am Woren.
And we are here with two very special guests for this show. Are you guys there?
Oh, we're here.
We're here.
Mostly.
The intro is always very awkward. I've been trying to make it as more awkward as I can, you know, as the time goes on.
I was thinking of a joke, but it's early.
Yeah, I appreciate. I always say I appreciate the West Coast people popping on for this show, because it is a hard ask for the 8 a.m. Live stream show, like being live 8 a.m. on a Tuesday. So thank you guys for being on.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so I forgot to announce who everyone was. So we have Alex Lightspeed here and Deformaty. And so my question to you guys is, for anybody who is unfamiliar with you, could you give a little synopsis of who you are, what your music is like, just to keep everybody in the loop?
Sure, yeah.
What do we say? Well, we've been best friends for 20 years or something like that.
Yeah, so I'm me and Todd, with Todd Deformaty here. He and I have been producing together for at least 15 years, and we did and sometimes still do large EDM events for a time. So often, our production was geared towards that as far as like
electro house breaks. I'm primarily a drum and bass producer, but I do a great many other things. But together we do synthwave, cyberpunk.
Yeah, definitely. So that this project that we're focusing on today is the Alex Lightspeed synthwave cyberpunk project that is probably more relevant to this audience. But we've been working together for a really long time, and Todd is always involved in the Alex Lightspeed project. So everything you hear, like, we produce together. I at least initially, as far as like the bones of the song, and then Todd's done with it, and I sit there for another year trying to fiddle with the last 10%.
Yeah,
that was interesting when I found that out, because one thing I've always thought was kind of cool is when I talk to people, I find out that there's more people sometimes behind the scenes than you might know, if you didn't know the people at all. And so finding out that Todd was involved, and then initially I didn't even know you worked with other people, and as we become friendly and stuff, I now am aware of the band and all these other people that you work with regularly. So
it's funny because to me it's like you guys are like if Dave and I met when we were kids.
Oh yeah, that's what Dom always says. That you guys remind him of us, like if we'd been friends for 15 years.
Right, we just had like a studio together or something like that. Eventually, like I could see that.
Yeah, we just have the studio at my house, and then we're just always banging pots and pans in here, seeing what works.
That's awesome.
Yeah, well, it's slightly easier to afford a really fancy, nice space if you are paying for it with two people, since the music doesn't tend to pay for the things.
Yeah, the record label pays for some of it. The rest of it's just. So.
Hey, whatever, man. You got to keep it alive, dude.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I always tell everybody it's a compulsion. Like it's a compulsion for me. I have to make music, otherwise I go crazy.
Yeah. You're
right. People are like, oh, that sounds like a fun hobby. I'm like, oh, I wish.
Right.
Well, I think Todd realized a long time ago that some of my best skills are sort of publicizing things and getting people interested in things, and really curating, and then he hates that stuff.
I hate it.
Oh yeah, everybody wishes they had like a team around them, right? Like you can just
a hype man.
Sit and produce music, and then get in your gold Cadillac and be driven back to your house, and then the whole team runs in.
Dave's my hype man.
Right. I mean, if we really want to get down to it, like the whole Alex Lightspeed project started as half a favor to me and half a, will you please come back and make music again? I miss you.
You've had kids. We don't see each other anymore. I entice you with the little synthwave treat. And
I get that feeling a lot, man.
Right, just start sending stuff with the Juno brass sound and everything, and you're like, Alex is,
you like it?
Alex is looking over his shoulder, just tempted.
Just winking, like that, like the meme with the dude with the beard that's just nodding and smiling.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
I have to make music, otherwise it'll literally drive me crazy. Dave's my hype man, though.
Therapy.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Dave's my hype man. I've often said that if I had somebody that could just mix and master all my music, my output would be insane.
Right, but it'd be like an album a week.
Right, yeah.
You need a hype man, and you need that yes man that's afraid to be honest with you, right? And so they're like, another banger, Dom. Excellent.
Yeah, this is fire. It's so fire.
Right.
Keep going, dude. That doesn't sound like shit at all.
Everything you make is fire.
Right. Then they leave the room and they're talking to the other interns, and they're like, I know. I'm telling him someday.
Yeah, they need one of those firefighter blankets right after.
right. The silver reflective, that's hilarious.
Yeah, something, a cup of coffee or tea, and
trembling with tears.
Trembling, I had to keep being nice.
It's so bad.
Right. So it looks like we have your guys' future plans worked out. Then this seems to be the blueprint.
The four of us trauma dumping. Apparently.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So I posted this in the chat earlier, but after a long time, we have an artist willing to do the challenge, the show challenge, which I'm very excited about. And what made you want to do this? I'm just wondering. I'm always wondering why people are down to do this, because some people are like, hell no, I would never do this, and other people are real into it.
Well, I think we tend to be pretty quick in the DAW, and just to pop out an idea. It usually only takes us about an hour. So he's like, "Hey, do you think we can write a track in an hour?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude."
Of course. Well, yeah.
It's also let me just say that when this was first proposed to me, I think that you guys wanted us to do the challenge, and you made it sound like everybody did it. And if we weren't doing the challenge, we're like,
that was me.
Like, oh, what kind of producer are you?
Yeah,
we even
right.
Chill Collins did the challenge.
I literally said, I was like, if you guys
Even
can't write a
Chill.
track in an hour, I'm like, you guys are. It's a joke then. You know what I mean?
Right. Either
It's
do
like
it or
kind
hang
of
it
prove
up.
that we actually make our own music. That
Right.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I'm waiting for somebody just to stick it to us, and at the end, the whole time they're just talking about how stressed they are, and then they just drop a Suno track on us at the end, and they're just sitting there laughing to themselves. You know?
Yeah.
And it's the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard.
Chat GPT and then get back.
Well, what I want to do is drop a track that's so complete on you that you're questioning whether it's like it's an AI track, because you're like, well, how did they get so much done?
Right. There you go.
Yeah.
You sit there all proud of yourselves then, right? Like, that's amazing.
That's
thing
what
about
happens
the challenge-
nowadays.
I was gonna say the thing about the challenge, in my opinion, though, is it's a good flex of the muscle. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
for
if
sure.
you,
It
if you
is,
got
yeah.
enough practice in, and you know how to like kind of properly throw together something, it's doable for sure.
Oh,
We
absolutely.
might, you never know. We might like end up making it into something afterwards. You know, like I
That's
have,
the
if it's, and then we'll call it like Out of Time or something.
Excellent.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
Dave and I have talked about this before. We wanna like revisit at the end of the year or whatever. Try to see if we can revisit everybody's tracks to see if they did anything.
Put an
with them.
album together. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
maybe
can't
something.
believe I can't believe Dan showed up today. That's impressive. Hi, Dan.
Hey,
Oh yeah, Dan's always on the show. Absolutely.
Yeah, Dan always pops
Dan's a
in.
huge
April-
Oh, he watches this show.
Yeah.
He must be be here at the beginning, because I always show up an hour into the show.
Yeah, he's always
Yeah, right,
he's
yeah.
working during the show, so he's kind of working and lurking, as I'm always saying. So he'll pop in, then out, that kind of a thing.
Yep. I think a lot of people do. A lot of people tune in while they're at work or like on the way home or something like that.
Yeah, for sure. But what was I going to say? Oh yeah, when you were saying bringing doing the seeing where these songs ended up, people made on the show or whatever. We also have talked about having some big like group show reunion where it's just like talking over each other madness the whole
Gosh.
time with like 30
Oh, that'd be
people or
fun.
something
Yeah.
like that.
Oh my god, that'd be hilarious. Dude. That'd be so fun.
You gotta play everybody's like challenge track, and then put it and
Yep.
then crown
At the same
crown a
time.
trophy.
Yeah, at the same
Give him
time.
a knitted
We're gonna
trophy.
play them all at the same time. Just train wreck it.
Oh, right. It's so funny. Future Past Radio just popped in, who's a great DJ on Twitch. And I was just thinking, I wonder if we could get a DJ to do a DJ set, right, of all these tracks together. I wonder if that would be an impossibility to do. I don't know
Get
much
on
about
it, Dave.
DJing.
Make the t-shirts. Make the t-shirts, Dave. Get on it.
Well, you guys know about this stuff more than I do. I mean, and you can really mix anything together, right? It's just a matter of how good it's going to sound, really.
Yeah, you can always make like a transition track, things like that. We've both been DJs for ever.
Right.
Yeah.
So-
No, I mean, there's so many ways to do it, and like, especially if you're planning ahead, like,
I used
pretty
to-
much make anything happen.
I used to mix classical music on vinyl.
Oh,
way back
wow.
in the day. Just
Awesome.
as a test, you know.
It'd be
Interesting.
impossible to go and really hash out all the, credentials of like of us doing music for the last 20 years. But, both of us have a gala of experience doing many different types of projects. And
Right.
this project just happens to be the one that has gotten some traction and people have noticed, which was, I think, a surprise to both of us. But, I'm certainly happy about it.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, I love that too, and it was so funny. The Future Past Radio is from my area, so like I I talk with him sometime, and I've been talking with him about DJ stuff. And when I was saying, like, oh, it'd be cool if we could find a DJ, immediately in my head, I'm just thinking back to all the Alex videos I've seen of you literally being a DJ. If only we could find a DJ somewhere.
Oh, it's just
Warren, it would be great.
Knew one or two. You know what's funny is, like, I was never good at the DJ thing. I wrote a lot of house tracks for my buddy to play because I had a buddy who DJ'd down in Detroit, and that was kind of like my only like foray into that world, because I tried a few times and I was terrible at it.
It does take a lot of practice.
Yeah, I feel like
I've been obsessed with it for. I mean, I used to mix every day for at least 2 hours a day for like 10 years.
That's awesome.
It's nuts. It's really addictive.
I feel like it's one of those things where, like, if you don't know what the DJ is doing, like, a person would just look at that and be like, anyone can do that. You know, like that kind of stuff. 100%. And then when you really know what they're doing, you're like, wow. You know, like, you know, and you're changing tempos and, you know, various other things.
You remember that movie Groove from the 90s about the rave scene?
No, I don't. But I'm not.
Oh, it's a fantastic movie. But there's a scene where they're at a rave and the guy's looking up at the DJ and he turns to the other guy and he says, I have no idea what he's doing, but it sounds great. And he's like, that's the point.
Exactly.
You know, it's definitely a separate skill from production, and it often gets, you know, people just think they go hand in hand, and while some people are good at both, it definitely isn't always that way.
Yeah,
there's not always crossover.
We're coming up to the time where we have to move on, but I am going to real quick do some live on-air troubleshooting, which means I'm going to have to stop the background music on this stream. I'm going to try to relaunch something so that we can see the music names. So just for everybody in the chat, the visualizer is going to go down for a second too. So Dom, feel free to chat it up for just a second while I fix this, but I just want to give everyone a heads up.
Nope. I'm not doing it. Never going to talk.
Moment of silence for the troubleshoot.
Yes, yeah. Like just the awkward silence for Dave would be perfect. I would love that.
All right, I'm closing it down. Now I got to reopen this. Everyone's going to hear notifications and stuff. There we go. And it's up. It's up.
He did it.
I did it.
He did it.
Well, that was quick.
So you guys, this can be the beginning of you starting your track. We're going to move on to our next 3-song block, and I'm looking at it now, the times, and let's see, we got 4. So it's only about 10 minutes. This block is.
All right. Well, we started on the first block, so
okay,
we're already going.
Good.
No pressure. It's all right.
We've had people come on before, and they're like, "Yeah, I started writing my song this morning," and we're like.
Like, wait, I've been working on this one for about a year. Right. I'm going to use this as an opportunity to finish it.
Right.
Exactly.
It's got like 10 singers on it and like a bunch of live band. Just threw this together.
You're like, wait, is this live sax, drums, bass, guitar, and vocals?
Right.
You're like, yeah.
Dude, I just whipped it out.
Right. They all
you
just
can't do
left.
this in an hour?
All right, so so go ahead and remember to mute your mic, and I will try to give you a heads up in the chat when we're back. So it's going to be about 10 minutes.
We do get a ding, so we can hear the ding, so you can ding us.
All right, sounds good. All right, we'll see you in a bit. This next one up is Arcade Beach with Nightfall. And we're back. And it's funny, I'm giving Alex and Todd a heads up for timing in the in our back chat thing, and I forgot that this song has like a 1 minute fade out at the end of it. So I'm like, yo, 2 minutes, and then it starts fading. I'm like, uh-oh, I forgot.
Yeah, what?
So they might take a second to hop back on. But
oh, we're here.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, sorry
we can hear you.
No, right. So the coming up in the next part of the show, the next blocks we play, is going to be like the start of the Alex music, blocks that we put together. So, and we'll talk about those songs in a moment. But how is the track coming along so far, in your guys' opinion?
It's coming along nicely.
I love the
swimmingly.
It's definitely already something. It's I last night I was like okay, 110 BPM cyberpunk, and he's like already on that.
Right.
I was like, oh good, we don't have to argue about it.
I love it. Right. I love the dynamic with you guys too, because I was like, how's the track going? Todd's like, excellent. And then Alex is like, well, it's coming along, and we do this kind of stuff. It sounds like me and Dom.
I hold my own piles of anxiety.
Right. No, me too. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I've been on the other side of like this kind of situation before, and people are not making a track, but people are asking, how's this going? And I'm always like, I don't know. It's fine. It's,
I don't know. Just fine. Just fine.
It's just okay. It's fine.
Were you saying something, Todd? Or sorry, Alex, to cut you off.
No.
Okay.
It's too early for that.
Todd sounds like he's very tired still in the morning.
Alex literally, I was like still in bed, and he pokes his head in my room, and he's like, "Hey."
That's how you want to wake up, right?
The coffee real quick.
Just standing over you, staring at you.
Fall in the studio and start whipping me. He's like, "Make music, make music."
Which is crazy because like Todd's always up way before me and making fun of me for sleeping in for like my entire friendship. And today he's like asleep before. I'm like, what? This is
like, oh my,
so unusual.
Have turned.
You should have woke him up by dragging your beard slowly across his forehead or something like that.
Yeah, there you go.
See, that's
Dude,
it.
Todd does not like to be touched. I'm not.
That's true.
You got to boop him on the nose while he's sleeping.
Like,
right?
I'm not sure that is like, I don't. It sounds dangerous. It's like grabbing a dog's tail from behind or something.
Right.
Like,
Alex just comes in shirtless, rubbing his belly.
Right.
it's time to make music.
Right.
Time to do this, buddy.
He knows how to get him
You ever
motivated.
see that South Park episode where they have the one cable company and and they're like, oh, where are you gonna get?
Like they got the dad,
they have
and
the-
they're
they have
ripping
the
their shirt open. They're like,
That's
how
dope.
bad
Rubbing
are
their
they?
nipples are like, oh yeah, tell me about it.
Oh, we're the only cable
I
company
love
in
that
town. Oh,
so sorry,
Sorry.
sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, I love that episode.
Yeah, that whole series is awesome. I
that's
remember
amazing.
getting South Park episodes on Real Player, on my Windows 98 machine.
Oh, yeah.
When the first season and that kind of thing.
dude, like the
Crazy.
computer could barely play them. They're
Right.
and you're like, yes.
South Park was
It's
always
new.
great. South Park was great for Real
Sparking
Player.
from all the LimeWire viruses.
Yeah,
Right.
Real Player loved it because there was just like solid colors.
Right,
Yeah.
solid colors, and there was 10 frames per second of animation going on. So it wasn't a lot of artifacts and problems. It was the only show that looked good on a Real Player file.
I love that show so much.
I
There's so
remember
many-
it.
There's only like a handful of like cartoon shows, adult ones that I truly love, and that's one of them. And the other one is Venture Brothers. I love
Venture Brothers is
Venture
great. Yeah.
They get away
did you
with
see
so
my Venture
much.
Brothers meme I sent you guys earlier? It was like, ignore me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think this is
The other good one lately is Smiling.
What is it?
Yeah, he's been trying to get me into it. I watched an episode or two. It was freaking hilarious.
Smiling
but-
Friends. It's like 15-minute episodes from
Yeah.
Adult Swim.
Wait, what is it?
Smiling Friends.
I've never heard it. I'm gonna have to check it out. I haven't watched
Oh.
TV. I've been talking about this. I haven't watched TV in like 2 years, aside from like Daniel Tiger and Bubble Guppies and things like that because
Oh,
of
yeah.
my kid.
You ever think about how we have this huge, immense world of media accessible at our fingertips, but
Every
us,
day.
older people are they're like, we're still watching X-Files reruns.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
We watch anything we want.
Because most shows are crap.
No.
Hey, nothing wrong with X
Well,
Files
when the-
reruns.
When the
Oh, dude,
Minecraft,
I just went through the whole thing. I'm not.
the Minecraft movie came out, and I just didn't understand. I never played Minecraft,
Well,
so
Yeah,
I'm
me either.
like,
But
I was like, wow, okay, this is
this is the thing.
people are.
They play stuff for us at the grocery store. So it just.
I'll tell you what,
though.
Bananas
I'll tell you what though.
and
Had
stuff.
that game come out when we were kids, though, we would have been all over that shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it came out a little
Well,
bit
it's just-
past my time, I
Taken
think.
for days, man.
We're just. It's a roundabout way of saying we're really old.
Right.
Dude, did any of you guys play Civilization, like Sid Meier's Civilization?
Oh,
I fucking
yes.
loved that game on my 486 DX2.
Yeah,
Like
the best is when you get
had to-
multiplayer.
It was some good shit. Also Pirates on the NES was those games I probably played for more hours than any other game.
Oh, for sure. I remember there was a game growing up I played a lot. It was called You Don't Know Jack.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Oh yeah.
I remember playing the hell out of that game when I
That
was
was
a kid.
fun. It was fun with a group of friends, too. That was yeah, when did that come out? I was
Like
defi-
96.
I was definitely on a Windows 95 or maybe in my Mac back then, my Power Mac.
I want to say it was like
Jesus.
96 when it came out.
Yeah, I played a lot of Doom. I played a lot of Tomb Raider, a lot of Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Those are the days, man.
Oh, Star Fox. Gosh.
Oh God. Oh,
The barrel roll.
The whole show just becomes like 40-year-old.
Shut up, frog.
That frog was so mean. Fuck.
The frog was.
The frog was your homie. It was I can't remember the other guy.
That was I don't know. He was always
the frog was the homie. And then there's like the ice. Yeah, the bird guy. He was like Iceman in Top Gun.
Right.
That
was Flippy, right? Was the frog's name?
Yeah.
Flippy.
Yes, Flippy. Yes, they got very creative with that name.
Right.
Yeah.
That whole team together. Let's see here. Let's talk a little bit about the songs that are coming up, if that's okay. I mean, we can continue going over games too. That is also
perfectly
acceptable.
I mean,
been really on the nose.
We can pretend the music matters. Let's go.
Okay. So I found out something, Woren, that I found kind of cool. Can you get? I don't know if you've seen the cover for Crimson Sunset that Alex had. It's the car going through the tunnel. Are you familiar with this at all? Dom?
I mean,
me? Oh, you're talking to me.
I'm talking to you.
No, I'm notoriously terrible at remembering things, so don't ask me if I remember things.
Oh, okay.
Unless it's a movie.
I was just going to say, I found out that was, it looks like a photo that somebody made, like a creation. And then Alex was like, no, check this out. He sends me this video, and it's this whole vlog that he made about taking that photo and with this team and everything. And I thought that was so cool. And I'm really glad you told me that, Alex.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go check that out.
Yeah, that covers.
Yeah, it's on my Lightspeed Fiero's YouTube channel. But yeah, we had to, it's taken in a tunnel, and the way that you and I had the vision of basically, you're driving out of the tunnel into the sunset, but what I wanted was the car to be in focus, but everything else to be blurry. And like, I talked to my photographer friend, and he's like, oh, he does stuff like that. And he's like, yeah, you got to have a chase car that's going the same speed as the moving car. And that's the way that works. And I was like, okay, well, it'll be a favor. And cause I had worked on his car, cause I do car work or whatever. But anyway, we couldn't close down the road, tunnel had a divider in the middle of it. So basically we had people on either end, and then we had a chase truck going in the oncoming lane of the tunnel, and we'd radio from from one side to the other to see if we weren't going to get in a head-on collision, and he would hang out the back of he was hanging out the back of the truck, so he's trying to take a photograph, laying out the back of a, Toyota pickup. And I was just like, this is dangerous as fuck, but hey,
yeah, definitely check out
whatever we got to do for the art, right?
That video is really cool. I'm really glad you showed me that, because you detail the whole process, and it's really interesting to see. And it's amazing how much went into it, and it turned out great. So obviously it was worth it, but I was really surprised how much effort went into taking a photo of that quality. So yeah, pretty cool.
Well, Alex is known for putting obscene amounts of effort into I'm right there. Extremely hard worker. Yeah. He was ripping his hair out on this last album, just with the detail work and stuff. And I was like, hey man, it's gonna be okay. And he's vomiting
for the art. For the art.
Well, I will say that I often put a lot of pressure on myself, because I've been working so much of my life to be a professional musician, or be a musician that is leave something behind, and there was a point when I totally gave up, and I was like, it's not going to happen, and I got to do something else with my life. And I'm like, and I guess that's fine, and for it to come back around, and to have some even moderate success doing it, I often think of my younger self and think about what I would think if I squandered that opportunity, Yeah. So I put a tremendous amount of effort into trying to make the most of this sort of the gift of having something that people are listening to,
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, and I'm glad that you got attention too with Forza, and you've had other successes and great album sales on Crimson Sunset, and it looks like this next album is racking those up as well, and so that must feel really good, obviously.
You know what? I described it as it feels good in such a way that it's like, all right, I'm going to try to say this without being vulgar. Okay. It's like when you are a teenager, like waiting to lose your virginity, and it's going to be great. You're excited about it. You're like, oh, this is going to feel so good. You don't really know how good it's going to feel.
Right.
Yeah. Sure. But it's like,
I'm just kidding.
And then it's an amazing feeling.
Yeah.
Actually, it's like finally hitting that, and you thought you were feeling like it might never happen,
Sure, and I'm sure a lot of artists feel that, and for some people,
I took 8 years off myself.
Yeah, that's you seek success.
It's okay to take a break sometimes. You don't want to push if you're not feeling. One thing I learned over the years, if I'm not feeling like making music, I really should not, because I'm just gonna make crap that I'm not gonna be happy about.
Yeah,
but
you're gonna get sad and angry.
Yeah, and then you're gonna be like, ugh, all I make is fucking garbage, and I don't want to. But
that's the weirdest feeling, isn't it? When you go to make something and you're like, I've already made this. Like, what am I doing? You start getting really down on yourself. Like, that's why it's nice having people like Dave, where Dave will be like, dude, you're great. And I'm like, oh, thanks, dude. Like, somebody to remind you that what you do is like
someone to lie to you every day, right?
Yep.
That's part of your team.
You got to get those. You need those wins.
So I'm always waiting for motivation to go into the studio. If whatever you can find as like your trigger to like get you excited, if it's a sample, even if it's something dumb, it's like, let's take this Total Recall sample and I'll make something with it or whatever, right? And it's like, I think that you should embrace those opportunities. You go for those moments, because that's the most likely that you'll enjoy it, and that'll come out, I think.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the time is if you don't go in with like intention, at least for me, if I go in with no intention of what I'm gonna make, and I just kind of let it free, flow, usually that is more productive than me going in and being like, I'm gonna make this today, because I will ultimately just overthink it for myself, at least.
Yeah,
I think there's certainly like you don't want to overthink it, but like, what I was talking about is like whatever you're inspired to, like, if you're thinking about making something because you're inspired about, noise or something you heard, concept, that as an abstract is a great motivator to come and like push something out. You may not know exactly what you're pushing out, but you'll it's more likely to be something.
Big old turd. You know what really gets you?
Guys, come look at this. Can you see this?
Look at this.
You did such a good job. What really gets you going is a nice trauma.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
Nice steamy trauma will really.
Right. What
I like to do is tell myself that I'm a failing artist all the time, and which I am, by the way. But I always tell myself that I'm a failing artist. That way, I'm just sad enough and depressed enough to write music.
Exactly, dude. Tragedy makes the best art. So if you, whatever you got to do, break up with your girl or something, and just get some real heartbp going. You're
Start a fight with your wife for no reason.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'm back in it. She's like, "You trying to make music, aren't you?" You're like, "Shut up."
Shut up. And she's like seeing through your ploy now, and you're like, you gotta fight with me and tell me you hate me.
I gotta set up a situation with like Gunship or somebody like that where I pay them and I'm like, just drop it, Woren, you're terrible, or something like that.
Yeah,
so you can replay it to yourself over and over again.
People to hit me up and talk shit to me,
but I'm secretly just Venmoing them money to keep you motivated the whole time. Hey, this is Michael Oakley, and you should give up on music.
You gotta tell them it's shit. Just tell them it's crap.
Tell them it's awful. Hey, we're coming up on the top of the hour though, so we have to move on. And
what are you playing first? I know I helped set the playlist, but I don't know what you.
Yeah, I was just about to say this next 3 block we're gonna have Nightbreak, Crimson Sunset, and Ultimatum. Is there anything about these 3 you want to say before we get into it?
Yeah.
So Sunset was on Forza.
Yeah, definitely. Crimson Sunset was featured on Forza Horizon, which is now just that was. I mean, I really think Michael, or Miami Nights, as most people know him, that runs Rosa Corsa, because although he said that he didn't do anything specific to get that song selected out of the thousands of Rosa Corsa's catalog, I often suspect that he nudged them,
It's a great song
because he believes in us.
Yeah, I mean,
and of course, it features the amazing guitar talents of the Neon Syndicate. It was that, and we just, that game has sold 30 million copies and got ported to PlayStation. That was before the PlayStation port. So, who knows how many people I've had weird experiences where people will run up to me at a show that I'm not playing and ask me if I'm Alex Lightspeed, and yes, and they're like, "Did you write Crimson Sunset?" And I was like, yeah. And he's like, "That is my favorite song on that game.
Awesome.
That song is
that's such an amazing
or whatever." And I was like, and it's kind of like, it is a good feeling, but it's also like, when it actually happens, it's very, you don't even know how to respond to that kind of intense enthusiasm. It's like their eyes are kind of crazy. You're wondering if you're going to get stabbed. In the,
right.
Yeah, or you're looking around for the cameras, like, am I on time?
Now you're like, no.
Right. Like, is their motivation to go down in history as the person that took out their favorite producer or something like that?
Right. Well, sure. And last time it happened, I was like, we have a new album like that just came out, and he didn't even care.
Right.
Hear about that.
Like, is it on Forza?
Right.
He's like, "But you did write Crimson Sunset."
Right.
And anyway, that just broke 100,000 streams on Spotify, and we got at least that
That's
many
amazing.
on YouTube as well. But YouTube has like 5 different versions of 5 different videos of the track, so it's not all. The nice thing about Spotify is it's coalesced, and you can see it in one thing, right? But for some artists that may be nothing, but like, it's definitely,
that's huge, dude. For me, I would.
This is kind of what I was kind of getting at, is that no matter where, I've talked to a lot of artists that we through raves for 10 years, right, or more, and we would bring a lot of headlining artists in, and so I talked to them, right, and it doesn't matter where you are in your career, like, you will always feel it, like there's just somebody who's doing way better than you.
For sure.
It's like, it's kind of like, you can't, like, you gotta resolve your imposter syndrome, like, yourself, because the biggest artists still feel like they're not doing enough, and there's always going to be somebody doing better than you, and then you're like, well, you really need to compare it to where you were. Like, if you're growing, you're doing
Dave's
great.
always
like,
giving me crap because, like, I feel that way, and Dave's like, "No, dude, you deserve this," and I'm like, I don't feel like I do.
Do you have a? We do have to move on, or we're going to run way over. But is there anything else about Nightbreak or Ultimatum you can say?
Yeah,
real quick?
Nightbreak features an amazing guitarist named Mike Adams. That he is actually, he had a YouTube channel where he would do guitar setups and things like that. But he spent a lot of bands, and he had brought like a surf rock like approach to this synthwave song, and it was very unexpected, and we didn't even know what to do with it at first. But I think that it's probably one of my personal favorite songs that we've done, because it's so different, and it's dark and moody, and it has just different guitar than you ever in synthwave.
All right, let him play it.
Yeah.
Shut up, Alex.
Also, Nightbreak is Todd's in my voice somewhere in there. That's
somewhere.
Somewhere. All right. Well, everybody can try to point it out, though.
I love you guys.
or not Nightbreak. Ultimatum. Ultimatum is Todd's in my voice. You guys are stressing me out.
All right. let's move on. And if there's anything you want to add to it after, when we come back, we can talk. And so let's see. So as far as your song goes, you got about just under 13 minutes of time before we're back. So, all right. So let's move on. This first one we're going to play is Night Break featuring Mike Adams.
Yes.
And we're back, and I totally forgot to give them a heads up because I pulled a like a Woren here where I am just lost in that last track. So let me send them a message.
Dude, I am always blown away when I hear like his music. Like when I hear you guys' music, I cannot, like, I don't know, man. It's just you know what it is like there's just such a great mixture of so many different variations of things. Like, you know, I feel, I don't know. It just makes me feel good. It's good stuff.
Yeah, sorry for not giving you a heads up. I see you're here now. My bad. I guess it's a good thing that the song was so good. I just forgot. I was just paying attention to the song.
Yeah, I get lost, man. Honestly, it's I don't know. Well, you know what? I'm pretty good about praising people and stuff like that, and you know, being super kind about it. But like, I legit cannot tell you how much I like your music, Alex, and Deformaty. I don't know. It's amazing.
Are you guys there, by the way? I see you're unmuted, but we can't hear you if you're talking.
They said they're fixing it right now in chat.
Gotcha. I didn't see that.
That's fine. I'll just keep praising and saying nice things because
yeah, it's so nice to hear you talk about somebody else other than me for once. It is just,
I do think you make wonderful music.
No, you don't. No,
I really do.
No, stop saying that.
We had a listening party before this for Bending Grid, and there was a remix that was on there that Dave made. And
oh, good, it's working.
We hear you.
Hey.
Okay, good.
You know, the beautiful thing about that remix, though, Dave, was how it came about for you. I think it was so funny because it was one of those things where I was struggling so hard on this one, and I was like, dude, like, I think you could do this, no problem. And then you just knocked it out of the park, and I was like, all right, well.
All right, thanks, man. Yeah, you know, I had forgotten that you originally started with that until you brought that up in the listening party chat, and I was like, oh yeah, because that was a while ago.
Yeah, I ended up doing Shapeshifter is what I ended up doing eventually. But yeah.
So anyways, I'm glad you guys are back. And we got that all worked out.
We have no idea why it wasn't working.
Yeah, that's the nature of the live stream, right? Everything breaks in the middle of the show. I mean, that's a classic on this show.
We unplugged it and plugged it back in.
Hey, that's the best way to do it, too. Either that or you start smacking it. That's option 2.
Yeah, custom maintenance.
So, you know, you guys are speaking of remixes. I just want to put it out there that Rosa Corsa has agreed through arm twisting to release a remix compilation album for us, probably towards the end of the year, or maybe it'll take longer than that. But so we're looking for remixers for
me.
Any Alex Lightspeed track off Crimson Sunset or Lost Future, anything.
Wow.
But not everybody will be picked.
We might do a remix contest.
You know,
but send me the stems, man. Like I said before.
No. Well, you got to pick out a song. You're behind the times.
I already did.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm waiting. Well, it takes me to just where
What was that? Sorry, you cut out. Could you repeat that?
I make really thorough stem packs, and I only get about one done a week. So as you request a song, if nobody's ever requested it before, it goes in my little queue, and I have a spreadsheet, and then like every week I try to get a stem pack done for this. So
yeah. You know what? I'm only judging you harshly. It's not a huge deal.
That's right.
Like I got like 4 or 5 done, and I have 3 more requests right now. Potentially there could be up to 20 requests, I guess.
Yeah.
Because of 20 songs.
Then we'll play your whips in the feedback stream.
Yes. And we do reserve the right to chew you out in the feedback stream, so we actually get good production out of you.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. If people don't know, we do. Yeah, we do a feedback stream every Thursday around 6 p.m.
I love that show, by the way. I'm sorry I missed last Thursday, but I absolutely love that show. Soon I will have Todd's Out to Dinner done.
Oh yeah,
that's right.
Todd went to dinner. So.
I'd be surprised if anybody hadn't heard about the show at this point.
Yeah, sure.
But I think that
I love that show.
I do want to say that, like, we want anyone who's producing music or even recording music, if it's different genre, accept all genres of music. Obviously we have preferences, but we're out to
don't worry, I'm just going vaporwave and funk it out.
No, they have rap on the show and a bunch of other interesting stuff. I like it.
Like psychedelic rock and
I mean, we're the purpose is to help each other become better producers, better musicians, better, and like
agreed. 100%.
And I think that my belief is that we're not given the right kind of input often to grow, and I wonder how much faster me and Todd could have become producers if we actually had people that knew what they were doing.
Just a little bit of handholding.
Yeah, just
like a little bit
giving us some advice,
right.
Often that's very difficult to find, and it doesn't just come from us. Like, a part of the show is having a lot of other really good producers in the chat and also giving their input and their opinions. I feel like that's.
I mean, usually you have to pay for that kind of input.
Yeah,
right.
For sure. Yeah. Well, a rising tide raises all boats. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
if we all work together and we all help one another become, we talk about this a lot. Often failure is the greatest thing that can happen because, it puts things in perspective and it allows you to learn, provided that you can learn from failure. But it's often the best teacher.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Some people can't handle it, but the reason we started it was because I consistently, both because we run the label and because people know us as artists, like people just keep sending me tracks and be like, hey, can you give me some like feedback or advice on this? And I was like, man, okay, we need to do this stream. Yeah. So now people are like, hey, can you listen to this? I'm like, send it to the stream, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not? You know what I mean?
I will set aside time to like sit down and listen to your music.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I think that it one of the things that we that creates a sort of network is just this sort of concept of community. If you want, what's the difference between like an artist that is doing really well and has like a really strong fan base and people that are pushing for them to succeed, and one that is like out there shouting to the heavens, desperately trying to get somebody to just click on their track? And I think the difference generally is community. Is like, do they have your kind of, do you have a an sort of army of sort of listeners that are not just, they're not just into you, but they're also kind of friends with each other. They like they're it's bigger than you directly. And if you can manifest or kind of like curate a community, then they will do the heavy lifting of like pushing forward your your work, and because you can't do that.
It sounds like me, Dave.
Entirely self.
He does, right? This sounds like talking to Dominic all the time. Right?
Yeah, I'm saying the same stuff all the time. Like, I really truly believe that it's so much. You can get so much further if you work together and just try to uplift each other. Now, I think it's also good to be honest with each other and everything, and that's why I tell Dave all of his tracks are terrible.
Right. That's why
right away.
Tells me they're
It's
all
the first
awful.
thing
Man, you're in a lot of bingo card things this show. We got to get that going and on screen.
Oh, we forgot to ask what their favorite breakfast cereal.
Oh, right. Craig's may have fallen asleep by this point, but Craig always wants to know favorite breakfast cereal and what DAW do you use? That's Craig's every show question.
Oh, breakfast cereal.
Oh
okay.
yeah.
I like a big old bowl of nails and motor oil.
Yeah, I knew that. I already knew that.
I'm so rugged.
Real
Because you're such a man, right? You're so manly, you just have to drink the motor oil.
Just wash it down with grinded up sandpaper.
Right, sandpaper.
Yeah, just wash it down with a big old glass of sand.
right.
I'm gonna give a serious answer.
Okay, sure.
A cereal question. I like O's, like H or OH.
They're like Cheerios, but like
They're the off-brand
big.
Cheerios. I know exactly what you're talking
No. They're not off-brand Cheerios. They're big, like they look like supersized Cheerios with honey and grain like stuffed in the middle.
That sounds good.
They're at a lot of grocery stores and Multi-Meal makes a generic.
Gotta be a West Coast thing.
Oh man, dude! I was born in Illinois. These O's are out there. I think they're Quaker.
I'm have to go look.
I think they're.
You'll have to find it out.
I'll send you guys a picture. But they're like, I guess I had them when I was a kid at one point, and then I got. Yeah, what I buy them at the store, and my kids are like, oh, but probably other kids are not getting those,
Well, if I'm going to be honest, frosted mini wheats slap pretty good.
Oh yeah, those are great.
They're mini because they used to be just one big brick of weed.
Yeah, my dad, I didn't know this was weird, and maybe it's not, like back when we lived in Canada, he used to have the big shredded wheat, like the one you're talking about, only he would have it with like hot water on it, not milk. And that always seemed normal to me until I paid attention anywhere else. And I have no idea.
What is wrong with this man?
He used to have that and grapefruit. And I'm like,
it's like Friday where he's like, we're out of milk, and they're like, put water on it like everyone else.
The thing that messes about mini wheats is that mini wheats are like the biggest cereal, each chunk of a regular mini wheat.
They're not.
No, they're pretty big. That's why they sell.
Spoonful.
That's why they sell bite-size mini wheats now.
They're just
a quarter of the size,
getting smaller and smaller.
I'm like Raisin Bran fan as well.
Raisin Bran's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty
good. There used to be this cereal called Smart Start that was supposed to be like a heart healthy. That shit's actually that slaps.
Yeah.
Oh,
there was one called there was one called Blueberry Morning I used to eat that was delicious. It was so good.
Honestly, you can't get me on Raisin Bran, but Raisin Bran Crunch.
Oh, okay.
Dude, Raisin Bran Crunch.
Yeah, dude, Raisin Bran slaps, dude.
Yeah. Honestly, grape nuts aren't bad either.
Dude, grape nuts are underrated.
They're underrated.
Finally,
over here like, yes.
Finally, yeah, I mentioned this before, and that's a universally hated cereal. I've discovered, but I've always liked it. So.
It's with that you add fruit to grape nuts.
Dude, grape nuts,
like blueberries.
Yeah, a little motor oil.
There you go, motor
oil. That's right.
As far as the DAW, we use Studio One.
That's PreSonus.
Studio One. Right. Yeah.
We started out with Acid Pro back in the day.
Yeah. I've used Acid Pro too. Yeah, that's a good one. My very first one was Acid Music, if you remember that version of it.
Oh yeah. You remember it originally came out as like a music scoring software.
Did you guys use Cakewalk? Because I was actually
Cakewalk.
So
I never did.
I used Reason for my first one.
I always use Reason as slave to as a plugin into. I really didn't like their sequencer, so but
it's terrible. I hate
was awesome.
Yeah, I ended up on FL whatever. I think it was 3 or something like that when I stuck like early 2000s, and then I've been on FL
They
ever
just
since.
use Rewire. Yeah.
You know, my mom had a studio, like a home studio in 1996, 1997, and that's the first time I used a DAW. We had Cakewalk, and we had like a $2,000 sound card called the Aardvark. Aardvark, yeah, and it was like 10 in, 10 out, like, and it was like externally, each
input.
Each input had its analog digital converter that was individually shielded in the external box, and it was like, oh my god, this is like the fucking
Similarly, I grew up. My uncle had a pro studio because he made music for like commercials and stuff.
Yeah,
through the ASCAP
That's
board.
awesome.
And so I'd go over there and like record music and stuff when I was a little baby boy.
That's cool.
Dude,
That's really cool.
My mom was like, oh, she was gonna the next Sheryl Crow. She was going to be a pop star. She has her.
My mom was a
moniker,
musician as well.
Yeah, her moniker was Sherry Cola.
Yeah,
her name's Sherry.
Well, she's still a rock star to me, dude.
No, yeah, she. Dude, my mom like is a fierce piano player. Taught piano for many years, and is. I didn't know that not everybody grew up like singing Christmas carols, that their mom played all the background music on the piano. I thought that was like a thing when I was a kid, because I just like,
that's a very sitcom thing, right? The mom or dad would sit down at the piano and everyone would sing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, my mom was a musician as well. She used to do like she used to fill in Detroit here, like for like Motown and blues bands back in the day. So like that was her side gig that she did. So she would play like piano and guitar.
Cool.
And do vocals.
I'm pretty sure she'll eventually listen to this. So my mom's decently. I mean, she's a really big supporter actually of what we're doing here.
As mom should be.
That's awesome.
Well, right. I mean, I feel like I had to. I feel like I had to get to a certain level. Like my mom, no offense for listening to mom, but like I feel like, she's not just proud of you for just existing.
You don't get a participation.
Yeah, you don't get like no participation. You have to actually like achieve something, and then she's like, that is fucking cool.
Right.
Well, imagine if one of your kids was like started producing music, and he's like, "Dad, listen to this," and you're like,
right.
Yeah.
Let's throw it on the feedback stream.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like if my mom was still around, I think she'd be like losing her mind that I've come as far as I have in the last year.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. My mom would be very proud.
Yeah, very much. Well, we're gonna get off this topic because then I'll start getting all teary-eyed because I love my mom.
And we're past the half past hour.
People do love their moms.
We're mama boys.
Yeah, most people do. Yeah.
We have 2 more Alex tracks here. How is your track going? Are you nearing the end? Because we got about a half hour.
Yeah, we're on the 3-minute mark, I think.
Nice.
I mean, we get to play it at the end, right?
Yeah.
Instead of, it's not just like
you got to bounce it over at the end so we can play it.
Yeah, if you
Our
can,
drums are going to be too loud, or the bass is going to be clipping.
Yeah,
right. Perfect.
We need a break. We need a breakdown here.
Great track, terrible mix.
Real quick, because we are getting to that point of the show where things rush a little bit, but we have Reemergence, More Machine Than Man, which we played several times on this show, and then the Kyoto Tears vocal mix by Neon Syndicate. Is there anything about these 3 you want to say, or we can talk about them after if you'd like?
Oh yeah, I mean, I was really an honor to work with Ross of Phaserland.
Yes.
On now, I mean, like Ross, before I ever produced my first note of synthwave, like, I was definitely listening to Phaserland stuff on my personal playlists on Spotify.
Ross
so it was like,
incredible artist.
Like he was, an ethereal figure at one point for me, and but I met him in Michigan because he lived down there, and I was in there for a big car show thing, and came down and we did and chatted and just struck a friendship, and he did a really great job giving us some sick guitar that's very much his style that we were able to integrate into Reemergence. So that, that's I'm really honored to be part of working with musicians that I used to like,
like idolize.
Like, oh, that'd be that idolize, right?
Personal achievements are amazing like that. Like that's what I find is like the personal goals are the biggest things for you. Like for me, it's like it's not about like making a bunch of money or being famous, which would be cool, I guess. But I would rather have the friendships and then knowing that what I'm doing is like validated through other musicians and stuff too. So I get.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And with War Machine and Man, like Todd and I, we wrote those lyrics together, just sitting here on like sort of a whim,
Yeah.
And originally it was Todd singing the track, and eventually actually Todd's just a little tiny bit in there in like one of the verses. He's like one of the many layers.
It's the pitchy part.
Right.
I'm messing with you.
It's the part that everybody hates. If you hate something about it, it wasn't there.
Yeah, right. Wait, said Todd the whole time. Like, no, this guy here. Dude.
It's and I didn't actually think it was going to be a song that people gravitated to, but it's actually probably the song that people have gravitated to the most.
It's the song I'm most proud of for sure.
So I'm really proud of it. Yeah.
My remix of it is gonna kill, dude. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah. I'm kidding.
I'm not gonna make any proclamations right now because I always tell everybody when I do remixes and stuff, like I make no promises, but if I find the groove, I'll do my best.
We'll talk about Gabriel's track after it's done.
Okay. Yeah, I was just gonna say, this show goes so fast. We're already at 11:40 my time here.
Every time, yeah, I know it always ends up.
I'm already clipping out songs.
Show.
I'm already clipping out songs from the playlist here. So let's move on here, and we will.
There goes that Woren track. Get rid of that.
Right, get rid of Woren. Get rid of the whole Woren feature. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. This is Reemergence featuring Phaserland.
Your beauty got the best of me. For everyone it's clear to see. So I just wander aimlessly, aimlessly, easily. I'm spellbound to the core of me. So I just wander aimlessly. The street's my only friend. The street's my only friend. The street's my only friend. Come stay with me as the watery reflection shimmers endlessly. Iridescence, no distractions, only you and me. And the night will fade away as we shed your tears, your tears. Come stay with me in the lunar light, our shadows dancing peacefully. The smell in the air, the taste of destiny. And the night will fade away as we shed your tears, your tears. Painfully, time is running out, you see. There's nothing really there for me. And yet I have to go. And yet I have to go. And yet I have to. Don't let's go. Don't look back, just go. Come stay with me as the watery reflection shimmers endlessly. There is essence, no distractions, only you and me. And the night will fade away as we shed your tears, your tears. Come stay with me in the lunar light, our shadows dancing peacefully. I can smell it in the air, the taste of destiny. And the night will fade away as we shed your tears, your tears.
Wow, what an amazing track that that last track is. Have you fallen asleep, or are you in another universe?
No, I was. I just can't help but think that the whole time, every time I've ever listened to that. Okay, by the way, the only thing I can think the whole time is that I would love to do like a vaporwave remix of that.
Oh, interesting. One thing I like about I mean, you'd have to ask the Neon Syndicate about that, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
One
but
thing,
I would love to, if you're listening, I'd love to do that.
Yeah, he's in the chat right now.
Yes, I
So
know.
One thing I like about the Neon Syndicate, and this is not, I'm not comparing this to you guys, but he's ultra talented and a really nice person. And I talked with him on the Heartbeat Hero show for a little bit, and I love that combo of people in musicians. Like, super chill, easy to talk to, just seems like a real nice guy. But also, you hear him play, and you're like blown away by how amazing he is.
Yes.
Yes.
100%. I feel that way about like a lot of people. Like I said, like
Yeah.
with Alex and Todd over here, I like I said, I can't praise you guys enough. It's I don't know. You guys do something special. It makes me feel good.
Are you guys there? Is your mic working?
Probably. They're probably fixing it right now.
All right, so now's our time that we can just talk trash. These lies you've been telling have been great.
I hated everything. I didn't mean anything.
It's coming
There it
back.
goes.
Oh, there it is. You guys are back.
Okay, we
I mean,
said
I
a
love
bunch
it.
of stuff.
We said how dare you?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we actually,
I knew it.
I actually thought you could hear us for a while.
Right, we're just ignoring you. You're like, how dare you? And I just keep going. Right?
Yeah.
No, we were saying how grateful we are to have Gabriel as a friend, as a music partner, and just how incredibly talented he is, and how incredible that last track was.
Yeah.
With Monica. It's just so good. It's so sultry and sexy and just really delicious.
You won't meet a more humble than Gabriel
Oh my
either.
God.
Like,
Yeah.
like he
I picked that
he'll
up from
come,
him.
He'll come off the plane and he'll take a bite into an onion and
Right.
oh, I guess I can do things.
Right.
I'm the guitar robot.
Right. Oh man. So
My gosh, sorry. I'm just running through ideas in my head now. I like the vaporwave thing. I can't get it out of my head now.
Now you have to.
we'll hit him up.
I'm gonna be up all night tonight.
So where are we at with the track? Because we're coming up to the top of the hour. We're going to go over a little bit, obviously, but
We can bounce half of it out. We
I
didn't drop bass, but
yeah. I mean, we could bounce out, or you could give us you don't have a block.
much time?
Do you have another block for us or no?
yeah,
You
I
don't
got.
get it, or-
I mean, I got one more block before the ending block we play people out on. It's only two
Yeah.
songs. It's about 8 minutes. Do you think that's enough to bounce it out? And could you make it an MP3 and drop it in Discord, or is email better for you?
Yeah.
well, we can definitely
it's
do
ready,
that.
it's
Do
ready
that.
for that now. I just do a slight master on it and then send it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so is 8 minutes good?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hey, man,
Okay.
this is more-
If that's okay with you, then let's we can hop right back into the music, and then we'll come back, and then we'll hear your track.
Yeah. Let's do it.
yeah, sure.
Okay, great. So this next one up is one of the newer. It's a song from the new self-titled Skyline Drive album called "Final Days on Earth," featuring Outrunner. And we're back. Like I was saying in the chat, maybe not the best two to put together, but I wanted to fit those two tracks in before
I thought it was fine.
done. It was like the anthem before we hear their song, right? Like ready to go, like everyone pumped up. That was it. That was the on purpose reason the whole time. I was just joking earlier. So, let me see. I am looking at this. Hold on, let me get this track going.
All I know is it better have the Geovarious album cover thing on it, like it always does.
No, it won't.
You're ruining it.
I'm about to open something which may open up over. Oh, it didn't. So
for people who are just now tuning into this, it used to be every time we would play one of these tracks for whatever reason, it would pop up with like Geovarious as like the person, like it would as like the album cover. The artwork.
Yeah, the reason for that is deep within my downloads folder, there is a Geovarious cover that's just called cover, right? And and Winamp will search for that because that's what this whole show is run off of. It's like the 1998 version of Winamp.
Discord, right?
Yeah, we're real high tech over here.
Yeah, I love that. Winamp was fucking Winamp slaps.
Right.
Really, love
It's the llama's ass.
That's right.
So I'm just setting this up, so I'm changing the tags real quick so it'll show up correctly.
Come on, Dave. What are you doing?
You know, it's he's out of practice on this one because we haven't had anyone do the challenge in a while.
Yeah, normally I'm better on this. Give me 1 second. Anything you want to say about the track before we start?
No, I don't know.
It's very grape nutty.
It is pretty grape nutty.
Yeah, it's a breakfast poop for sure.
Yeah.
I might get some breakfast. We have to go to work after this. This is
We
horrible.
have to do all the
Yeah,
fun
we're
things.
the worst. We're so sorry.
No, I'd much rather do this. Trust me.
Yeah, for sure. We actually both work at the same place now, so we're going to the same place after this.
Oh wow, that's funny.
That's awesome.
Todd dragged me into it. I was like, I don't want.
Like, too bad.
Yeah.
Are you just making noises while he's trying to figure out what's happening with the vehicle, and you're just like?
This job. So I still do my auto repair and auto customization stuff, but now I only do it like 1 or 2 days a week. And we're building cryotherapy machines. They look like
That is sweet.
They look like time machines.
Yeah, they look like time machines. In fact, I will use one in a some point will like freeze somebody.
Nice.
Like look like they're like cryo freeze but they look like something out of a sci-fi universe for sure. And Todd was doing it for a couple of years or a year or so, and then he's like, "We got it. We need help. You'd be so good at this job." And I was like, "I'm not. No." And he's like, "Well, what if you just came in for a week just to help out?"
That's how we got him.
Snagged.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Now I'm there 3 days a week, and it's fine.
You
All
love
right. It is set up.
Scorpion, like, get over here.
It is finally ready to go, everyone.
All right.
So this song is called Grape Nuts, which I love.
Yes.
And I have a cover of just the Alex Lightspeed logo on it, but I have it tagged as Alex Lightspeed and Deformaty. So anyways, so here is the world premiere of Grape Nuts, made during the Synthwave Hangout. Is everyone ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go. All right. So this song is called Grape Nuts. I absolutely hate that you were able to make that in like the 40 minutes during the show.
Sorry.
He gets this way. Don't mind him.
This has happened before with like several of the other people. I'm like over here grinding and I'm like adjusting bass drum level, and you're like, we were in the car driving while we made this, actually. If that's okay.
I made this while I was taking a shit.
Right.
Yeah, right.
I
was on the toilet.
Just
Yeah,
yelled out of the
waste
bathroom.
time.
Higher bass. That was great. And are you going to continue working on it? Are you going to like?
Yeah, I won't let this one go. I mean, it seems
It
like
better say that name, by the way.
Yeah, it has to be Grape
we'll keep
Nuts. Sorry.
we'll keep it.
We'll keep it as your favorite cereal.
Right.
We appreciate it.
No, our favorite cereal. Let's be real now.
It's ours now. That's right.
Yeah, it's
The community's
Hammer and
favorite
sickle.
cereal. The favorite breakfast of the retro community.
Right. The elderly retro community.
Oh
I
my
think.
god.
well, it did come out in the 80s. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
We're gonna be
So
we're
did
gonna be
I.
like geriatric synthwave producers and talking about grape nuts and things
Right.
like 20 years from now.
Right. Then one day, I forget who makes grape. It's got to be Kellogg's, right? Or
I
somebody.
remember when we made that one track at Snap. Do you remember that?
We finally get the Grape Nuts, company to show up in the chat, and they're just like, "Good job, boys. It's been a good run."
Right. And then your grandkids are like, Grandpa, don't say slaps. I don't like it.
Right.
You're making me cringe.
Remember, Grandpa, that's illegal now.
Right.
Right. Yeah, we can't do that now.
Excuse me. All right, guys. Well, believe it or not, we're at the end of the show. We always say 2 hours flies by, but I am really glad you came on.
I a lot more when you're in the show. I feel like your show's a lot longer when I'm.
Right.
Oh my God. I take that as a very high compliment.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Or he's looking at his watch and he's like, Jesus, it's only been 10 minutes. You have to shave again halfway through the show, it feels like, right?
Listen,
Well,
as
thanks
always,
for having us on.
yeah, no problem, man. As always, I love all of you guys. Be safe, be kind to each other. It only takes a moment to be kind, make somebody's day a little bit better.
Absolutely.
All it is. Thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and,
we'll see you on Thursday.
Yeah, and if you're gonna hang until the end of the show, keep your mic muted because you'll still come through on Discord.
We can chat for a moment if you.
We'll close down after this.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll be in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
Sounds good. Well, I appreciate both of you, and thank you so much for coming on. And I'm looking forward to see where Grape Nuts goes in the future.
Yeah, me
Hell
too.
yeah.
We'll bring it to the stream.
Right.
Yeah, we'll play it on the stream.
Oh yeah.
And thank you to everybody in the chat for everybody hanging out. A lot of the same people were here as have been here over the weeks, and we love and appreciate you guys as well. You make the program happen, and we really appreciate that. So we will see everybody next Tuesday, and we've got 2 songs to play out the show. I hope everybody has a great rest of their week. Later, everyone.
All right. Yeah.
Later.
Later.
magic in the air. And we knew it felt so right.